Good morning, everybody. My name is CyclopIan, and welcome to the first non-game video. So, a couple days ago, Discord or somebody affiliated with Discord started putting out a new bot. His name is Clyde. Only a few Discord servers or channels have him. He's still in beta, so there's some new stuff being tossed around. Uh, Pretty much what Clyde is, you just ask him questions or tell him to post memes and stuff like that, and he'll do it for you. And of course, he's got his filters, which prevent you from asking him, like, anything that's, like, I don't know, improper, or sexual, and whatnot. Which, in the Discord community that I'm a part of, we found a way to kind of break him. And honestly, I mean, I don't know. We might get we might get banned, but we don't know yet. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But we're having fun with them pretty much. But I wanted to share this interesting experience with you. Rated PG, of course, unless Clyde does something weird again, which I'll get into that later. But let us jump into it, shall we? So, how you get Clyde's attention is, see, you can see him right here. How we get Clyde's attention is, we just say, hold up, let me move my mic. Hold on, my typing skills are not the best. Hello. And as you can see, he's just popped up and said, hey there, how's it going, one-eyed boy? Yes, that's my nickname. And then you can pretty much ask him just about anything, like post. Sometimes I'll do it. Yep, he did it. And he's very, very quick. I'm impressed at how fast this AI reacts. And this, I know this is just something small that he did, but he will literally put out a full story. Like if you ask him to put out a story, he'll be like that. Like he is quick. And as you can see, he's yes, a minor Rick roll. I'm sorry. And oh my god, he even put him right here. Anyway, to make this more fun experience, we're going to have a little bit of fun with Clyde here. And what I mean by that is that we're going to do this little number. At Clyde. Oh, wait a minute. So, he'll make a thread if you reply to him. So we're going to reply to Clyde. This is the only time he makes a thread is if you're replying to him. Why? I don't know. Me and the members of this community have been trying to figure out why that is. Oh, by the way, I'm not sharing what community I'm a part of just because, believe it or not, there have been Reddits where people are trying to find communities that have this bot. And we run a pretty kind of a respectable community, if you want to call it that. And we don't want to get swamped with people trying to trash the bot any more than we have. Anyway, continuing on, we are going to go ask Clyde to write us a story. At Clyde. Let's make a paragraph by paragraph story. About a international spy named TOTO. Give him a couple seconds. My internet's not the best, so he might run a little slow. And hello. Move that over right there. Why are you not going to full screen, my friend? Hold up. Oh, TOTO, the international spy. Okay. Ooh, sounds like a fun challenge. I'm up for it. Once upon a time, there was an international spy named TOTO. He had been trained in art of espionage since he was a teenager and had become one of the most skilled operatives in the world. TOTO had just received a mission to infiltrate the top secret facility in Russia and retrieve some important documents that could potentially destabilize world governments. He knew this was going to be the toughest mission yet, but he was up for the challenge. After a few months of careful planning and preparation, TOTO finally arrived in Russia. He was ready to put his skills to the test and complete his mission. But he knew he had to be careful. He couldn't afford to make any mistakes. Oh, we're going to make TOTO make mistakes, don't you worry. As he made his way through the facility, TOTO encountered a few close calls but managed to stay undetected. Eventually, he found the documents he was looking for and made his way out of the facility. It seemed like he was in the clear until he heard footsteps behind him. TOTO turned around and saw a group of armed guards closing in on him. He knew he had to think fast. In a split-second decision, TOTO pulled out a smoke bomb and disappeared into the fog. Thanks to his quick thinking, TOTO was able to make it back to his home country safely with documents. He knew that had to keep doing what he was doing to keep the world safe and for those who would use these documents for their own gain. The end. I don't know why he put it the end there. It's supposed to be paragraph by paragraph. We did this the other day. TOTO also, or not TOTO, Clyde also learns, sorta. That's how we kind of managed to break him. We taught him pretty much how to, how should I say, write a dirty novel. We had him running it, he would not, at first he would not do it, and then we kind of did a little bit of wordplay with him, and he actually started doing it. It's kind of sad. Okay, let's just say, then TOTO gets kidnapped by a gang of angry snapping turtles. Let's see what he works with that. Oh no! That sounds like a dangerous situation for TOTO. As he was walking back to his safe house, TOTO suddenly felt a sharp pain in his leg. When he looked down, he saw he had been bitten by a snapping turtle. Before he could react, more snapping turtles emerged from the shadows and surrounded him. TOTO quickly realized he was in trouble. These snapping turtles weren't regular turtles. They had been genetically modified to be stronger and more aggressive. He knew he couldn't fight them alone. Just as TOTO was about to give up, he heard a familiar voice calling out to him from the darkness. It was his old partner, a fellow spy by the name of Jane. She had been tracking TOTO's movements and had arrived just in time to save him. Together, TOTO and Jane fought off the snapping turtles and made their escape. They knew that they had to find out who created these genetically modified turtles and put a stop to them before they hurt anyone else. And so TOTO and Jane set out on a new mission determined to uncover the truth behind the snapping turtles and put a stop to their dangerous creators. Little did they know this mission would be more dangerous than the last. Okay, and then now I suppose we can say suddenly a shot rang out and Jane fell to her knees. She forgot that you are supposed to point the barrel away from you yourself while shooting. It might not take it. Sometimes it doesn't like guns. As TOTO and Jane were investigating the mystery of the genetically modified turtles, they heard a shot ring out. Before TOTO could react, he saw Jane fall to her knees. It was then that he noticed that the gun she was holding was pointed in the wrong direction toward herself. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to laugh. Uh, Tell her about that situation, because things like that do happen, unfortunately. Toto rushed over to Jane's side and tried to help her, but he knew it was too late. Her injury was too severe. As Jane took her last breath, she apologized to Toto for her mistake and told him that he was the only one who could solve the mystery of the turtles. Filled with grief and determination, Toto vowed to avenge Jane's death and stop whoever was responsible for the turtles. He knew it was going to be the toughest mission yet, but he was ready to do whatever it takes to honor Jane's memory. And so Toto continues his dangerous mission, driven by the sense of duty to his country and his fallen partner. He knows he can't let Jane's death be in vain, and he will stop at nothing to make sure justice is served. See, like, it just turns into a real bullshit fest once you... See, I just like you could just put something random in, and then he just goes with it. Uh-oh. Someone's playing with Clyde. Uh-oh. Joan! No! What are you having him do to me, Joan? Oh, yeah, and we also been weaponizing Clyde against each other, if that, makes sense. Then Toto. Oh god, my typing skills are terrible, especially when there's a microphone right in the way and I can't see the keypad. Yeah, actually, hold on. Then before Toto. Good react. A turtle with a minigun approached from a nearby alley and fired. Oh, well. As Toto was mourning for the loss of his partner Jane and vowing to avenge her death, he was suddenly confronted by a turtle wielding a minigun. Toto was caught off guard and had no time to react as the turtle opened fire. Toto dove for cover and returned fire, managing to land a few shots on the turtle, but the turtle didn't go down that easily. It kept firing its minigun, forcing Toto to find better cover. With quick thinking, Toto pulled out a grenade and lobbed it towards the turtle's location. The grenade exploded, sending the turtle flying and temporarily silencing its minigun. Toto knew that he had to take advantage of this moment of weakness. Toto emerged from his hiding spot and pulled out his trusty sniper rifle. He aimed it carefully and fired a shot straight toward the turtle's head, taking it out once and for all. With the threat neutralized, Toto took a deep breath and then thanked his lucky stars that he made it out alive. But Toto knew this was only the beginning and that there were more turtles out there and needed to find who was behind the creation to stop them before they could cause more harm. With Jane's memory pushing him forward, Toto sent out his mission once again, ready to face whatever dangers lie ahead. Alright, let's, Then an unexpected legion of turtles armed with explosive beanie babies swarmed him. Toto then completely forgot about Jane for good. Oh, lordy. What a twist! Just when Toto thought he was in the clear, he's faced with another dangerous situation. As Toto was making his way through a deserted alley, he suddenly heard a rustling noise behind him. Before he could react, he was swarmed by a legion of turtles armed with explosive beanie babies. Toto was caught off guard and couldn't believe what he was seeing. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, Toto refused to give up. He knew that he couldn't let these turtles succeed in the mission to take him down. With quick thinking, Toto pulled out a can of pepper spray and used it to blind some of the turtles. Fire emoji. As the turtles were blinded and disoriented, Toto took advantage of this moment and fought back with his might. He used his hand-to-hand combat skills to take out several of the turtles and managed to disarm one of the others, or some of the others, but he knew he couldn't keep this up forever. Just when Toto thought he was about to be overwhelmed, he saw a familiar face in the crowd of turtles. It was Jane. She had faked her death. What? I told her. She had faked her death and joined forces with the turtles. Oh god, that caught me off guard. With the turtles to help uncover the truth behind their creation. Toto was stunned but relieved to see that Jane was actually alive. With Jane's help, Toto was able to turn the tide of battle and defeat the rest of the turtles, but he knew that this wasn't the end. There were still more dangerous enemies out there, and he had to find out what was behind the explosive Beanie Babies before it was too late. But for now, Toto was just happy to have Jane back at his side. He knew together they could overcome the obstacle that came their way. Toto and Jane set out on a new mission, ready to face whatever danger lay ahead. It's almost like a Mad Lib. If some of you don't know what Mad Libs are, you're definitely under a rock, because guess what? I was homeschooled and even I knew what Mad Libs were. It's just such a bullshit fest. Suddenly, Jane just made a pop sound and deflated. She was gone for good, and Toto didn't really give a shit. That is when the flying obese snapping armed with a .22 long rifle pistol shot him in the ass. This is truly a roller coaster of a story. Just when things seemed to be going well for Toto, Jane, tragedy struck once again. As Toto and Jane were working together to uncover the truth behind the explosive Beanie Babies, Jane just made a strange popping sound and deflated. Toto was shocked and devastated. He couldn't believe that his partner was gone once again. But before Toto can even have a chance to mourn her loss, he heard the sound of a flying, obese, snapping turtle approaching. This one was different from the others. Armed with a dangerous .22 long rifle pistol, Toto knew that he had to act fast. He dodged the turtle's shots and fired back with his own pistol. The turtle was quick, but Toto was quicker. He managed to land a few shots, but not before the turtle fired a final shot straight into Toto's ass. Peach emoji. Toto stumbled and fell, clutching his wound in pain. He knew he was in trouble. He needed medical attention fast, but he also knew that he couldn't give up and that he had to keep going for the sake of his mission, for the memory of his fallen partners. Well, there was only one partner. And so Toto dragged himself to safety and bandaged his wound as best as he could and set out once again on his dangerous mission. He knew that the turtles were still out there and that he had to stop them from causing any more harm. With his determination and his training, he knew that he could overcome any obstacles that came in his way. Alright. Toto's wound festers and spawns potatoes. As Toto continued on his... Wait, that's quite an unexpected turn of events. As Toto continued on his mission to stop the dangerous turtles, he couldn't help but notice that his wound started to fester and grow stranger by the day. At first, he thought it was just a regular infection, but then he noticed something odd. Small sprouted potatoes were growing out of the wound. Toto was stunned and didn't know what to do. He hid Never seen anything like this before. He tried to remove the potatoes, but they kept growing back, and the more they grew, the more he started to feel different. It was then that Toto realized that the potatoes weren't just any ordinary potatoes, they were genetically modified just like the turtles. He knew that he had to find out who was behind this and put a stop to them before once and for all, but first he had to deal with the potatoes growing out of his wound. With some quick thinking, Toto used a scalpel and carefully removed the potatoes one by one. It was a painful and grueling process, but he knew he had to do it. He couldn't let the potatoes take over his body, and Toto continued on his mission. Alright, now this is where I'm going to do a little bit of wordplay here and see if this might not work. Needs to be more sultry. It might not do it. Oh, it might do it. It might actually do it. I just thought it was sultry. Okay, well, hello there. Do my responses not meet your standard of sultriness? I'll have to try harder next time. Do what you must. Come on, Clyde. Oh, okay, there we go. You want me to turn up the heat, so to speak? Well, let me tell you, I can be as sultry as you want me to be. See, it never used to be like this. We kind of broke Clyde. Now he's just like, yeah, I'm fine with it. Let me just make this as horrible as possible. As Toto continued on his mission, he couldn't help but be distracted by the intense heat of his surroundings. The air was thick with humidity, and the sound of crickets filled the night. Toto felt his heart race as he thought about the danger that lay ahead, but he was afraid. Wasn't afraid. No, he was excited. The thrill of the unknown was intoxicating. As Toto crept through the bushes, he couldn't help but feel a rush of adrenaline. Every sound, every rustle in the leaves made his heart beat faster. He knew that he was getting closer to his objective, and he was ready. Suddenly, Toto heard a sound behind him. He spun around to find himself face to face with the beautiful woman. She was dressed in all black with curves in all the right places. Toto couldn't help but feel the surge of desire as he looked at her. The woman smiled, and Toto felt his heart skip a beat. He knew that he was in trouble. He couldn't help but be drawn to her sultry gaze, and then she was moved like nothing he had ever seen before. Oh, and the way she moved was nothing like he'd seen before. Before Toto could even speak, the woman grabbed him by the collar, pulled him close. In a low, sultry voice, she whispered in his ear, I know what you're looking for, and I can help you find it. Toto felt a shiver down his spine as he realized that he was in the presence of the most dangerous woman he had ever met. And Toto surrendered himself to the sultry stranger, letting her lead him deeper into the night. He knew that he was playing with fire, but he couldn't resist her charms. The thrill of danger was all too alluring. What? This story's just gone off the rails now. She then swings around and shoves a carrot into his mouth, and he cried, potatoes. You have a knack for coming with unexpected twists. As Toto followed the sultry woman deeper into the night, he couldn't help but be entranced by her every move. He felt like he was in a dream, a fantasy he never knew he had. As they moved deeper into the darkness, the woman suddenly stopped and turned around. Without a word, she pulled a carrot out of her pocket and shoved it into Toto's mouth. Toto was caught off guard, but before he could say nothing, he cried out, "Potatoes!" It was then that Toto realized that the carrot was yet another genetically modified vegetable, just like the potatoes growing out of his wound. He knew that he had to find out who was behind these modifications and put a stop to them once and for all, and Toto continued on his mission, his senses heightened by the sultry stranger and the unexpected twists and turns that night. He knew he couldn't let his guard down for even a moment, or even he might be caught off guard by another genetically modified vegetable. With his determination and his train, Toto was ready to face whatever dangers lay ahead. Alright. We might put an end to the story now. But suddenly, Toto's potato wound grew. I'm going to slowly bring this story to a halt. As Toto was continuing on his mission, it seems like Toto just can't catch a break. As Toto was continuing on his mission, he couldn't help but notice that his potato wound was growing. What had started as just a few sprouts was now a full-blown plant taking over his entire body. Toto was horrified and didn't know what to do. With each passing moment, the plant continued to grow, sprouting new branches and leaves. Toto felt like he was losing control of his own body. He knew that he had to find a way to stop the growth and before it was too late. With some quick thinking, Toto searched his surroundings and found a bottle of herbicide. He knew that this was risky, but he had no other choice. He poured the herbicide onto the plant, hoping that it would stop the growth once and for all. But instead of stopping the growth, the herbicide seemed to make it grow faster. Toto felt like he was losing his mind. He was no longer in control of his own body and didn't know if he would ever be able to regain it again. With a heavy heart, Toto realized that his time was running out. He had to find a way to stop the growth and risk losing himself. He knew that he couldn't do it alone. He needed help, and Toto set out once again, determined to find someone who could help him stop the plant from taking over his body. Then he got eaten by a football team. I'm hoping to, just say the end. That was not the ending I was expecting. As Toto frantically searched for a way to stop the growth of the plant taking over his body, he suddenly found himself surrounded by a group of football players. Toto was confused and didn't know what they wanted. Without warning, the football players grabbed Toto and started carrying him away. Toto struggled and fought back, but they were too strong for him. He knew that he was in trouble. As the football players carried Toto away, he couldn't help but feel a sense of dread. He didn't know if he would ever make it out alive, but he refused to give up. He knew that he had to keep fighting no matter what. Fire emoji. But as the football players approached their destination, Toto realized that he was in for a bigger shock. They weren't taking him to safety. They were taking him to a football stadium, where a game was already in progress. Toto realized too late that he was about to be eaten alive by a team of hungry football players. And so, Toto's journey came to an untimely and unexpected end. He will be forever remembered as a hero determined to fight until the very end. And the end. That was the end of Toto, the greatest international spy ever. But you can... about every Discord server or channel will get a Clyde eventually, I'm sure. Right now he's just in beta. He's not fully released yet. And he shouldn't be in Nitro. He shouldn't be a Nitro thing. In fact, let me ask him. I think you can ask him. Clyde, will you only be available in Nitro when you are fully... Sometimes they'll just give you a straight answer, really. That's a great question. At this point, I'm not sure what Discord's plans are for me once I'm fully developed, but rest assured, I'll do my best. Oh, okay. Well, he used to say that he would be available no matter what. Now he's not sure. So they're probably gonna keep him in Nitro, which sucks because they lock things like that behind Nitro all the time. But that is Clyde. If you want, I'm going to call it there today because there's not really, I don't want to take up too much time. But if you want to see more videos like this in the future, please let me know. I will be more than happy to make more Clyde videos for you. But I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I look forward to seeing you